Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is Kid Nate of BloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, the ineffable, the ineluctable Eugene S. Robinson, author of Fight, Everything You Ever Want to Know About Ass Kicking, but we're afraid you'd get your ass kicked for asking.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. A little bit of competitive pressure gets the guy to perform.
A little bit.
Yeah. Got tired of being school. So in 1 week, you crushed me in the picks from last week, and you bested Alexi. Good for you.
Yes, the intro.
I guess you're proud of yourself for abusing old people.
Hey, I too, the gray beard. I've earned it.
Yeah. There's still a senior among the senior citizens here. That's me. I'm such an old man.
Yeah. When I catch you down at the assisted living facility my mom's in, I'll then you'll get your proper old man.
That could be next week. The way things are going, that could be next week, you know.
It could happen to anybody, but you're gonna have to represent. But first, we need a disclaimer for the UFC Austin Fight Night 126, Cowboy versus Medeiros. Eugene.
Cowboy versus Medeiros. All right. So crybabies, bedwetters. I'm giving a disclaimer. You want to keep interrupting me? You're on fire. I left up last night or Tuesday. All right. So crybabies, bedwetters, greedy bread gobblers, grumblers, malingerers, work-shy individuals. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that the overlords WME, IMG have put behind you. You want to get off the don't care list to the care list? Fight an exciting fight. It's possible. It works. Until then, don't come crying to us. You could join Chris Colliard Greens, Paul Felder, and most recently, Israel Dazahaya, who moved from the don't care list to the care list in the space of 2 rounds. So it is possible. But like I said, until then, don't come crying to us, bedwetters.
Well said, well said. And this is the UFC Fight Night 126, a.k.a. UFC Cowboy versus Medeiros, a.k.a. UFC Austin, that we're talking about right here in my hometown. And we've got 2 fights on Fight Pass, 4 fights on the first Fox Sports 1 card, and 6 more fights on the next Fox Sports 1 card. So if you're going to the Frank Owen Center for this, prepare to be camped out for many hours because those Fox 1 shows go on and on.
The good thing is, if you guys want to do some sort of tailgate thing, that Kid Nate has opened up his driveway, his front yard. So you just go on by. He'll have some fucking cool brewskis on the lawn, you know.
Yeah. None of that is true. We're not even anywhere remotely near the facility.
In actual fact, if he sees you at his house, he will shoot you.
My wife, the assistant district attorney, will actually take care of that. So we'll, Okay. But first up, 2 fights on Fight Pass. Middleweight, Oskar Piechota versus Tim Williams.
Do not care.
No, do not care. Sorry, guys. All right, welterweight, Alex Morono versus Josh Burkman. How the hell is he still getting fights?
Somebody said, hey, Josh Burkman, man, is he lost battalion? And I was like, see, that's not the way it works. If you were to quiet your mind and examine what happened in your head when somebody said Josh Burkman, you would know exactly what happened. Because when somebody said, Josh Burkman, is he lost battalion? I went like, Burkman. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that's Major Tom, man. He's just floating around in the dark ether, waiting for somebody to remember he exists. I didn't fucking Josh. Are you fucking kidding me? I forgot about that guy. It's like, ain't you Snake Plissken? I thought you were dead. Yeah, no. So he is Major Tom majorly, and you'll know this when I say what I'm about to say next, which is I don't care.
No.
If I haven't seen, hey, listen, let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, there was like the local hot chick, right? And she's moving and she needs help moving. And so this friend of mine hears it from this other guy, this guy who used to date her. Says, oh, Anna Marie needs help moving, And he goes, oh, okay, well, tell her that I got a van. I'll help her move. And so he gives the number to Anna Marie and says, call this guy. He'll help you move. So she calls him. My buddy picks up the phone and she goes, oh, yeah, hey, Sal, this is Anna Maria. You help me with the move. He goes, I haven't heard from you for 3 years, you fucking bitch. Fuck you. Click, and hangs up the phone. And so angrily, she calls the first guy who says, yeah, Sal said he would move. And then the guy calls Sal, goes, what the hell? He was like, man, the door opened. I had to step through it. I just had to step through it.
the moment came, and
yeah, he had waited. She gave him the high hand earlier. He had sat and wait, like somebody said, like in Peaky Blinders. We don't say the vendetta is over. We say the vendetta is won.
Revenge, a dish best served cold.
Revenge is the best revenge. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. I don't care. Do you feel differently?
No, I mean I care about why is Josh Burkman still getting fights. I mean, it's not good for his health. It's not doing anything for his career. I doubt they're paying him much. And yeah, I mean, dude's won. He's 0-4 in his last 4 fights. He's 1-6 and 1 no contest in his current UFC
1-6. Jesus Christ, he sounds like Cerrone.
Yeah, and his only win was a decision over KJ Noons.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, I mean,
I used to like KJ Noons.
KJ Noons, maybe, but this was a shot, KJ Noons, and yeah. So we don't care about that one. Moving on to the Fox Sports 1 card, women's bantamweight, Sarah Moras.
Hold on. Could I just slow things down for a second, dude? Lest people think that this is an unfair characterization. You know, I'm looking at the head of the fish right here. I'm looking at the head of the fish that magically had something else to do in Perth. I'm looking at the head of the fish that is presumably seriously getting into boxing. I don't know if you saw the Forbes piece yesterday, or was it Wall Street Journal piece about how they're missing all their numbers and about how fucked up it is. It's like, yeah, the move to boxing is to save the UFC because they've so horribly mismanaged the UFC. So, you know, if you think that my cavalier not caring about Josh Burkman is poorly placed, I'm just looking at the head of the fish, man, and it's rotten.
It is highly rotten. Yes, the brains have been eaten, I believe, by zombies. And no, I don't think I did see the journal piece. I saw a Business Insider piece about the move to boxing. I think I saw something about the move to boxing.
There have been 2 credible, like either the Wall Street Journal or Forbes, and then the Business Insider one. There have been 2. There have been 2.
Well, it's clear what I've been saying, you know, since they started watering down the cards, that they and it's now at the point where it's costing money, and we have shit shows like this.
More importantly, people outside are realizing it. It's not just us. We were like Cassandra, you know, because this is going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy," because everybody was high on the fumes. Sorry, we were right. You were wrong.
Yes, and we don't care about Sarah Moras and Lucie Pudilová, I'm assuming.
No, I don't care.
No. All right. So flyweight, Roberto Sanchez versus Joby Sanchez.
I can't
recall. It's Sanchez versus Sanchez. Roberto Sanchez versus Joby Sanchez. Hobie, no. But I've never seen, I can't recall a last name versus same last name fight before. Can you?
I know Jim and Dan Miller were on the same card, but they were not against each other.
No,
so.
They weren't fighting. They've never monetized one. I'm sure they've had brotherly bouts, but
but this is not really enough to make me care, you know.
No. All right,
so just for people keeping track at home, this is the tote sheet. That's the fight right there.
There's going to be 2. Let's see. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights on the main card we care about. That's my prediction. That you
okay?
All right.
5 is right
along. Welterweight, Brian Camozzi versus Geoffrey with a GOE Neal.
No, don't care. Almost for Camozzi, but not quite.
Yeah, no, I can't. Dude's on a losing streak. I don't care. All right. Lightweight, Jared Gordon versus Carlos Diego Ferreira.
Do not care.
Nope, don't care. Sorry, guys. All right, now here comes this. I'm predicting you'll care, but it'll be a hate care. Lightweight, Thibault Gouti versus Sage Northcutt.
Yeah, your prediction is right. Is that, you know, I haven't figured out how the bald one hasn't figured out that this enrages people, you know, and it enrages them because we're like, you know, you're using a shower curtain, my friend. You know, don't trust them. We can see through the curtain. It's not like the curtain has to be open. It's not like it's opaque. It's a transparent curtain, and we can see through it. And, you know, like the guy said about Whoopi Goldberg, what, a whole country doesn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. It's like, you know, I like this kid. The kid, he himself is fucking blameless. He's a non-actor in this drama. But the fact that they're pushing him so fucking hard and not pushing other people stinks to me of Chuck Norrisism. And to go back in time, you have to go to OZY.com and read my piece on Jim Kelly, who had buckets of fucking charisma, yet did not have his fortunes advance. Who knows who he pissed off? But it just doesn't seem like, to people talk about a level playing field, it doesn't seem to be it. Doesn't make a difference. If I'm him, I line up and take the money 100% of the time. But for those of us on the outside, are like, yo, where's my chance? It's galling.
As usual, you're right, but behind the times, because they've already cut young Sage loose, my friend. They are not hyping him anymore. Have you heard anything about him fighting on this card? He's on the bottom of the Fox Sports 1 card. He's nowhere near the feature fight. They're not pushing him. The push is over. Sage is in the used and cast away pile at this point, my friend.
Who's he fighting?
Thibault Gouti.
Is this a guy he's likely to beat?
This is a guy who could give him fits, although this is also a guy who reeled off a 3-fight losing streak to start off his UFC run, but came back and knocked out Andrew Holbrook at UFC Rotterdam back in September. So, it's against the premise of the show to look at the odds before we do the show or do any research. So, but I have to think.
I'm just saying, without even looking at it, he feels to me like a fucking gimme. They're not actively pushing the guy, but they still, it's like you can affect the outcome in a simple way, right?
Let's see. Okay, you're making me break down. I'm gonna have to check the odds, my friend. I'm gonna have to check
break
the
down.
odds.
I mean, they could book him in the fight against you,
and he would be heavily favored. I mean, as would virtually anyone. My 9-year-old's jiu-jitsu is going so well that it's getting very hard for me to defend myself from him. All right, so yeah, Sage is heavily favored.
Yeah, heavily fucking favored. So it's like, go out, kid. Go out and give the people an entertaining show. Do the thing you do with the flip. I don't know. Do a jump. Do something. Get out of here.
Well,
but how about we give you 9 G's, 9 fancy G's? Is that enough for you, Mr. Northcutt?
I think they pay him quite a bit more than that. But all right. But I think this is what they should be doing with Sage. What they should have done in the first place is feed him some fighters he can learn on, and slowly build him rather than overhyping him and throwing him in the deep end against the likes of Mickey Gall.
Yeah. Well, I have to say a couple of things that I believe. Actually, I was getting ready to get outraged, and then I was like, when they started talking about Mayweather against CM Punk. You mentioned it the other night, and I got confirmation online. I was like, that's fucking wait a minute. Wait a minute. I mean, if we're going to go bullshit, let's go deep bullshit. And that's deep bullshit. It's so deep bullshit, it seems fucking inspired, kind of, right?
Exactly. If only they were closer in weight classes. But I think Floyd, if he were willing to just say, fuck it, I'm retired from boxing, put on some weight, make CM cut some weight, they could meet at 155 and could be magic. Could be magic.
I think you want to see both those guys lose. I mean, it's, what does that do to McNugget's game plan? So
see, what I would like to see is for Floyd to just whip the shit out of CM Punk, which I think he could, and then fight McGregor in MMA. I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. It could be, but we'll see. Many a slip between the cup and lip. But so, are you caring about Sage or not?
I don't really care, man.
You're lying because we've
okay. Hello. No, we're gonna use the beer in the kitchen test, and beer in the kitchen.
You're watching this fight, dude. You're not getting up.
Yeah. Okay. I care.
It's a hate care, but you care.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Yes.
And I'm assuming we both care.
I care. It's a love care because I still think there's some money to wring out of this kid. I think if they don't mishandle him, that there's money in this kid. But
so you're picking Northcutt too.
I wish I were that sanguine about it, but I mean, I'm not impressed with Sage's fight.
I'm gonna have to go with the house on this, which is Northcutt in my mind. So
yeah, I'm gonna pick Gouti just because I'm worried. I mean, I think there's a good case for it to be made that Sage should win this fight, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous they have killed the golden goose. All right, featherweight: Steven Peterson versus Brandon Davis.
I don't give a shit.
Nope. I do not either. Yeah, no, sorry. Now, welterweight. This is one of my picks that you might care about. Welterweight, Curtis Millender, and he's not the reason you're going to care. Thiago Alves.
Oh, Thiago Alves. I miss him, man. But yeah. This passes the glass of wine in the kitchen thing. If I'm pouring and somebody says, "Oh, Alves is up," I come out. Is he still American top team or not?
I don't know about that. It says he's fighting out of Coconut Creek.
Yes.
Yeah. So presumably, although Wikipedia not always the most up to date, but yeah. I mean, he's Thiago he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights with a win over Patrick Cote. Not sure what fighting Curtis Millender gets him, but
gets him a paycheck.
It does, and it lards up a card with somebody that some people care about. So I'm gonna pick. You gonna pick Thiago? That's the test.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him.
Yeah. He's still tough as all get out. But Millender's making his UFC debut. Yeah, I gotta go with Thiago. I was tempted to go the other way, but I gotta go with Thiago. All right, now we got lightweight James Vick versus Francisco Trinaldo.
Oh, I almost care about this one. But, okay, since I've already been in the kitchen getting wine for 2 fights, that's the thing. Do I care about it enough because of Trinaldo?
Never fear, there's going to be 20 minutes of commercials between these fights. So
yeah, that's a lot of wine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to go back to my thing when I look at that empty seat where the bald one is and think, what the fuck am I doing here? So I don't care.
You don't care? Yeah. I mean, Vick's been reeling him off. Are you just mad because he beat your because now he lost to Beneil Dariush and he beat Joseph Duffy? I'm mad about that.
You were mad about that. The Irish in you was angry.
Well, no, I just thought Duffy might have had some money in him since he beat McGregor, but that's come to naught. And Trinaldo's tough. He lost to Kevin Lee, but he's been beaten. He beat our boy Paul Felder, beat Yancy Medeiros. I got to go with Vick here, and I do care. I do care.
So you care, and you're going for Vick, and I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care.
I'm gonna blank on that one.
Inveterate hipster Eugene S. Robinson, too cool to care about the not out here with us blue collar meat and potatoes, hard working guys.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
We're sitting down watching every fight. All right, so
I'm talking to Mr. Steak and Champagne only here. Mr. First Class. I got it. Okay.
All right.
Who's that guy? Who's that fucking Trump parachick who's like, I have to fly first class.
The EPA head, I believe.
EPA head. Prove it. Because I have to fly first class because the vibe out there is so hostile. I was like, I know what you mean, man. I need to fly first class too. Have you tried flying coach? That shit sucks, bro. I need a first class ticket and I need the American people to pay for it now. It's national security, I got to go into government, man. I'm trying to do a run here. I'm trying to convince people that we should either go into government or start a company
You could be the next Mooch, Eugene.
No. I want to develop ground penetrating radar so that we can see when people are trying to tunnel under this $18 billion fence. And I'm going to call a company LRP because I want one of those big government contracts to build ground.
You need to hire a former CIA or NSA guy to be.
I got a guy.
You got a guy. Oh, put on that MAGA hat, baby.
And I got a chief technology officer here. He's shaking his head like he doesn't want to do the job, but I know he's behind me 100% on this one.
Money talks.
You run down there, Eugene. I'll be right behind you. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So moving on to the co-main event.
What?
Derrick Lewis. Yes, the co-main event. Okay. Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast out of Houston, Texas, versus Marcin Tybura.
Oh, I fucking care. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody likes Derrick Lewis at this point, and he's not fighting anybody that scary.
Well, typically, Marcin is Polish, right?
Yes.
So usually
you're gonna go with the Pole?
Nah, not in this instance. I'm sorry. I just don't see dude coming into Texas, rolling a hometown favorite. I just, Derrick Lewis is going to do everything in his human power. If Marcin actually pulls this out, he will be of sterner stuff than I've seen in his past fights.
Yeah. I too must pick Derrick Lewis. and great to see him back in the cage after his heroism at Hurricane Harvey. What's not to like about this guy? I mean, you know. So
yeah. Look, it's a sad day here at the Cerrone Academy because there's a competition coming up this weekend. You know, they have a notice about school closures because of kids competition. But then if you notice a small print below, it looks like they're having a memorial service for one of its stalwart members
who may or may not have passed.
Eugene S. Robinson. It's terrible. I heard that he passed on. So we're going to set up a GoFundMe campaign for the family.
For the expenses?
Yeah, and you could just do it to you could set PayPal all your cash to pinko95014 at yahoo.com.
I see. Well, that's certainly as credible and confidence inspiring as the most sound cryptocurrency out there.
you got that right. Okay, so
you got to take your money out of cash, Ether, Litecoin, everything. Put it all into the Eugene S. Robinson Fund because your money will be
to pay for the memorial service. It's terrible.
Other expenses.
It was one of those things that we could just we could group under tragic but understandable. Whatever it was that happened to him, tragic but understandable.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to judge. I wasn't there.
Maybe you were.
Hey, my alibi is airtight. Did you ever deep dive into this guy, Woody Harrelson's dad, Charles Harrison?
Oh, yes, I did. You mean one of the three hobos?
You think he was there?
Known. There's no question. Was arrested off by the train tracks up behind the grassy knoll as one of the three hobos. And he was like, hey, man, I hit some hard times. That was his explanation.
This would have been like, say, after his first conviction for armed robbery and before his first arrest as a mafia hitman?
Yeah. In case maybe some of you don't know, Woody Harrelson's dad, before he died, was in prison for the attempted contract killing of a federal judge.
Not attempted. He pulled that one off.
Murder of a federal judge.
Yeah. Although he was fresh out of prison when he murdered the judge for killing a carpet salesman for $4,100. Like, and he might have been acquitted over the carpet salesman, but he killed somebody in the valley and did some jail time. But I mean, you know, you don't read about like Milwaukee Phil Aldericio of the Chicago outfit like getting charged and convicted multiple times for hits. So I think Charles Harrelson was not perhaps at the top echelons of his profession, but nonetheless, scary dude.
You know, and then people also tie it into they tie in his unique placement for his son's improved fortunes. In actual fact, I don't know if you've heard that angle.
I see
that Woody was given the thing that broke him big, which was the TV show about the bar. What was it? Cheers. Yeah. Cheers broke him big. That strings were pulled in order to pay back a favor, and that's how Woody got his start.
Wow. Oh, that sounds like scurrilous rumor to me, Eugene. I can't be associated with that kind of thing. But send me more info privately.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the fact that if I told you and you didn't know anything about it, that a famous actor's father was in jail for murdering a federal judge, you'd be like, you're fucking crazy. Except it happened.
Well, I mean, that's not unbelievable. I mean, all kinds of people do all kinds of things, you know. I mean, hey, it is quite the leap, though, you know, from So, anyway, all right. So now we come to the main event: Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Yancy Medeiros.
You know what, man? This fight fucking hurts. You know, it just fucking hurts because Cerrone said, "Man, I think I've been fighting too much. I'm gonna take a break." And you could just see like the ball would go, "Yeah, bro, take a break." Great. How about February? What, is that a fucking break?
Hey, he's been off since October, and he's coming off of 3-fight losing streak. I mean,
everybody knows that, including Medeiros, who's a tough fucking customer, and I don't think has any real intention of losing this fight.
No. He was coming off of a KO win, fight of the night win over Alex Oliveira. He knocked out Eric Silva before that, and then had another fight of the night submitting Sean Spencer. So, and then a fight of the night before that he lost against Francisco Trinaldo. So, dude is Dude is pretty close to peaking, I'd say. I mean, he might go a little higher in the rankings, and beating Cerrone would be one way to do it. And Cerrone not on the upswing.
Yeah, and I didn't even wait. You could see my little scribble. I just picked right there.
Yancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to pick Yancy. So you do care, though.
I care. Yeah, I care.
Yes.
It just makes me feel it's like, yeah, you know, it's interesting. You know, at the end of the war,
the war ended. What war ended? Wars don't end.
World War II.
Hey, well, speaking of which, it's pretty late in the show, Eugene.
At a certain point, you know, fucking Hitler was depressed. He saw that the thing
Nazi
had
reference. In the can.
Well, was Hitler a Nazi? I guess I didn't know that. But
the Nazi.
Yeah, he was depressed about how things were going. He was talking to Speer, Albert Speer. And he's like, oh, it's terrible, these failures. And he goes, yes, failure. The German people have failed me. And that's when he gave the fucking Nero order, which Speer ignored, you know.
See, that's the thing about leadership, like that Hitler was brave enough to come out, look deep within, and blame the German people.
Right.
I look forward. I hope Donald Trump has the courage someday to blame the American people. When
I think he did today. He did today, where he was like, people knew this guy was crazy. How come they didn't do anything? It's your job to say something, you know?
There you go. I mean,
yeah. So no, but I mean, my point in the parallel was like, if Cerrone is going to wait for the Baldwin to express care or concern or to provide comfort or succor for, you're not, you know, no, it's not going to happen. He's going to roll you out there as long as you're willing to be rolled out there. That's the name of that game. So,
yeah, it's this is
it's just hard to see. I mean, it's like when clearly like a coach or like Colonel Cathcart in Catch 22, it's just like, yeah, you flew 20 missions. I'm going to volunteer you for 25. We just don't give a fuck about you. We just don't give a fuck about you.
Yep. It's like if you're a classic rock musician and you wake up one day on the Ringo Starr Peter Noon tour.
Yep. Yeah.
And playing maybe a aquatics festival or something.
If I was Cerrone, I would heavily consider going out loneliness of a long distance runner style, you know. He shows up in the cage and there's a fanfare and then people like cheering and he's the Baldwin sitting there. Come on, buddy, you're my top hoe. Get out there, do some fucking, and then he just takes his clothes off and strolls around. What? I'm ready. I mean, what? Well, you don't like that I'm completely fucking nude in the cage? Why not? Why? I'm getting fucked. I might as well get ready for getting fucked, so let's get it on.
We know what you would do, Eugene. We know what you would do.
It's like, man, the guy made it to the pinnacle. He made it to the mountaintop. How's he going to go out like this? Yeah, just like that.
He never quite made it to the mountaintop. I mean...
Did he ever get the title at all? I don't think he's a Susan.
He had the WEC title at one time, but
well, that's enough. That's enough to be called a champ. You ever talked to anybody who goes to the Super Bowl? You know, the action at the Super Bowl is not actually like at the game. It's all the shit around the game. The town, whatever town it's in, prostitutes from all over America.
That is overhyped. I've heard. I've been told that the whole prostitutes thing at the Super Bowl is a little overhyped. Okay, not that it doesn't happen.
100% wrong. 100% wrong.
Overhype is a subjective, qualitative thing. I can't be wrong about
I'm telling you about the porn star. The porn star. You know, it's typically.
Look, this hooker I know told me it was all bullshit, and I shouldn't listen.
All right, A-level porn stars who are past their prime, like a few years past their prime. You know, you will go to the fucking Super Bowl. You will like, oh my God, there's Christy Canyon. I guess she must be a football fan.
That is so dated. Can't you update your references to like the early 2000s, maybe even just
except
be?
Except I don't want to put people on Front Street. So I
see you don't want to call out, say, Jane Darling or
correct or right. I don't or Gianna. You know, I don't want to. No. I don't know. What do I know? But the fun part is every guy over 40 calling every other guy over 40 coach. Everybody's right. Because if you're over 40, you're not a player still unless you're a kicker. And then if you're a kicker, you're not speaking English. So what the fuck, you know? Even though I'd like to dedicate this show to Sebastian Janikowski, he was waived finally by the Oakland
You
Raiders.
can call
So
him coach too. What the
so
fuck?
yeah, at this
Coach.
point now you can. Hey coach, okay coach. All right coach, how you doing coach? How you feel coach? Okay coach.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody's offended, says Canyon is a horrible name for a porn star. Well, son, welcome to the 80s. It's going to be a long decade for you because she was huge. So
yeah, she was actually, and it's still sort of some.
She's around. She had an autobiography she was pushing, say, 15 years ago, I think, because that's how ancient.
And I may have gotten this wrong, but I think she was also working, working. No longer on film, but for film enthusiasts.
Private shoots.
Yeah, yes. That's what I meant.
Film enthusiasts, indeed. Well,
which one of the porn stars I knew from this later era, the one I refuse to name, she would do these things for $3,000, $3,000 to $4,000. Did I tell you this? Can you Donna Shalale me about
why are we advertising prices for hookers?
This is an old story. It's old. It's the past.
Okay, it's highly unlikely Fox Press is watching the show at this point in the episode anyway. So.
Well, so this guy was a pizza delivery guy, and he saved up his money for an entire year.
Now you, Donna Shalala.
That's what I asked you. I asked you at the beginning. Had I told it, and you were like, I don't know.
Until you get to the pizza guy, and then the pizza guy. You told me it is a depressing low point that does bear celebration and recall. You know, why do people only remember the heroes? Right? We should remember the mooks and the creeps.
He wasn't a creep. He was just somebody.
Come on, he's a pizza guy saving up his money to waste on a hooker and then prematurely ejaculates. The guy's a creep. Come on.
I don't know that makes him a creep. I mean,
it makes him a creep. Women get to decide who's a creep, and I guarantee I know a little bit about women. Yeah. They think that is a creep. That is a definition of creep.
She didn't. She said she sort of felt sorry for him, but not really. Just because she thought it was fundamentally fucking stupid. I mean, there's one of this prostitute I knew. She said it always blew me away that guys would pay for this. I was like, you're fucking crazy. It's
just a fundamental difference in perspective. You know, I mean, you can't see how the other half lives. I mean,
that's what they say about poverty. You want to do poverty abatement in third world countries. You know, we have programs that dole out money.
Would this be going through Oxfam, who will be spending money on turning children into prostitutes?
No, so now you have to give it to the women. Do not give this money to the men. Do not, no matter what you do, give the money to the men. You know, so there's a reason for that. You know,
there's an Atlantic Monthly article ages ago about what are we going to do about men, and predicted what we're seeing, where men are becoming this cast-off, useless, gender, whatever. I don't know.
What do you mean become? Joe, we just look at the natural
without the big factory jobs and the farm hefting, useless. But the article was like, picture a neighborhood full of stay-at-home moms, and think about the shopping and the gardening and the kids playing and the cleaning, and now picture a neighborhood full of stay-at-home dads. Look at noon, fighting with the postman, kids trying to stay the fuck away. I mean, well, but that's his life. And Eugene freezes. What a crappy end of the show.
Am I frozen now?
No, you're unfrozen. You're back. But that is a warning that we should wrap this up because.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying, fathers. It's tough to be a fucking father.
It takes a real man.
Because not only are you fathering your kids, but you're also beating back attacks from the wife. So on the one hand, you gotta try to minister to the kids, and the other hand, you're trying So it's a really tough job.
A classic two-front war.
Yeah,
should have thought about that before we invaded Russia. That's
All right, in this instance, you just said Poland, and you'd have been right for me.
Oh, there you go. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, whatever. But anyway, that's our show.
Except you're wrong, because look, you said 5, and what's on my side of the ledger sheet? 4. So, babe, you're returned to your old-fashioned ways.
I think you're reaching, Eugene, because as we know, I'm on a hot streak with the picks, and there's every sign of that continuing. So, just try to cling to your pride. Whatever you have to do, I respect that. I know it's okay. It's okay.
It's gonna be so. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so great on Sunday where I get on the show stomper and
Answer the phone.
luxuriate in all of the wins I've had.
Remind me to give you a call Saturday night. Gene, who won the fights? Who won the fights? That'll be a new tradition.
Actually, I'm going to a makeup party on Saturday night.
Makeup party? They're gonna finally find the right eyeshadow for you?
I guess I volunteered.
Don't paint your taint. That's my only advice.
As long as they put the fight on in the background and give me water.
Feel right at home. Keep them out of the wine, ladies. All right, so that's our show. Follow us on YouTube at MMANation.com. Follow us on iTunes at MMA Nation. Get the audio without the ugly. Follow me on Twitter at KidNate. Eugene is at Eugene S. Robinson. You can read him at Aussie.com. Also by the Thin Black Duke, the award-winning, poll-topping Oxbow now classic. Can we call it a classic?
The classic. Huh? I called it 2 years out. I said this record will change your fucking life, and I was right. Well, sadly, it's failed to change mine, but it'll change your life.
All right, and my podcast, the Let It Roll podcast, the history of rock and roll in 12 episodes, coming back with a new season, talking about David Bowie, Iggy Pop, Brian Jones, with author Paul Trinka.
I meant to mention to you, the guy who played the piano solo on Aladdin Sane. I think we're
Mike
gonna have
Garston, the Scientologist.
Garson.
Garson.
Yeah. I knew he was a little nuts, but I think we're gonna do a piece with him. We're gonna back him off of his claims that Bowie wasn't such a big deal before he met me, and then.
Oh man!
I just go, don't let him go down that road because it's embarrassing. Just stop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You played it solo, man, like a 13-second fucking solo where you change a guy's life. I mean,
he played some great piano parts on 3 or 4 Bowie albums. I mean, that's more than most of us can say that contributed to humanity, but. Nonetheless, he also converted half the band to Scientology, and got him so riled up that Bowie fired him. So there you go.
Yeah.
So, what else am I plugging? The MMA Vivisection with Zane, Simon, and Connor Rubish will be later today. Yeah. And 6th round after the fights. The showstopper will be on the Eugene S. Robinson channel on YouTube on Sunday night. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode of If I Did It. And then we've got the greatest Fox UFC card of all time, Emmett versus Stevens. And before you ask who is Emmett, I don't know either. So there we go.
and before you ask about Stevens, who the fuck is that guy? See that's
works. Who that guy. At least you know who that guy is. Who's the fuck is that guy? I mean, does it get bigger than that?
He's a who the fuck is that guy. Yeah.
And so Emmett's coming out, rolls off of missing weight for his last fight right into a Fox headliner. So you can't say it's not a well-oiled machine at this point. Anyway, that's our show. So adios, MMA aficionados, and thank you, Eugene. We'll see you next time.